Settle Sweeties here. Just a quick note before I start my video. This is the first video that I am actually appearing in the video. So if you find that I'm not looking at the correct place, it's because I don't have enough experience to keep looking at the camera rather than looking at myself, which I'm doing right now. Camera, self, camera. Anyway, this is a follow-up video from Settle Sweeties, me, about bin cages, and we no longer have any hamsters or gerbils or guinea pigs. I do have guinea pigs. We don't have any hamsters, gerbils, mice. They all have passed away already. It's kind of sad how short they seem to live, about a year, maybe a year and a half at most for me. So, you know, maybe blame the pet stores for their breeding practices wherever they get them, but it's just a little too short for my daughter. It was kind of really sad when it died for her, so we're not getting any of those right now. But now that I have empty bin cages, I can definitely talk about if they worked well or not. So, like I said, we had the animals for about a year and a half, and they really liked the cages. I didn't find that they chewed on the cages, and I would check them every week when I cleaned it. Sometimes I didn't even have to clean it every week, when especially she was down to one dwarf hamster, and the cage wasn't even bad after a week. Maybe the one corner where it slept, we would clean that spot out. I am very sorry about the creepy animal eyes that you're seeing through the cage. They must think there's something in here. It might still smell a little bit like a hamster. I didn't completely wipe it down. It looks a little dusty, like static bedding dust, but yeah, they're hiding out behind there. I have two cats, and it's making it creepy, and I can see it in the video. This cage, I did wire on the ends, and I cut a little hole in the wire so that I could add these bubble connectors so that you can add tubing. These cages can be extremely versatile. You know, add tubing and add a second bin or a smaller bin. I had one cage where these bins have an overlap that's, you know, pretty much all of them have a little overhang. I actually took some like command hooks and hooked them in here and then dropped another smaller bin in that was like half the depth, so they could go under it or go up in the bin, and that's like where I put their food and stuff. That was for my mice. They really like that. Or you can take little things like this. Basket was a 2-for-$1 at the Dollar Tree in the USA, and a lot of people will like clip these to the top of the cage, cut out a little thing, and it'll be a little nesting box area for their hamster. And I think that's excellent, because with this cage in particular, I did a solid wire top, so you could very easily see your hamster nesting in its little box through the wire, and I thought that that was excellent. The only thing with that is, if you're going to attach things to the lid, you might want to make sure your hamster's not in there when you go to take the lid off. And then it tries to run out maybe, and there's no ramp. That would be bad. I would check these every week for chewing. I found that about, I would say it's 2.5, 3 inches up the side was an excellent height, that they didn't kick bedding out, and I could put a lot of bedding so they could burrow in it and everything. It was kind of close to the top though, so I definitely kept my lid on all the time just so they wouldn't climb out. It depended on if you had anything over there, or they'd kick the bedding over there, they could climb out, so be careful. But I do love these bin cages. They are extremely cheap. You could spend $30, $40 on a Critter Trail, that's the company, on a Critter Trail cage that was half this size, and your hamster would just not have any room to do anything. Whereas this might cost you $7.99 at Walmart or wherever you happen to get them. I think I got mine at Walmart or Meijer or something like that. I'm not really sure. And they're customizable with whatever tape you want. She picked this woodland one on the top, and I put like a silver chrome on the ends because you almost can't even see the tape. I mean, depending on what angle it's on, it reflects the surroundings, and I really liked it. Hopefully this doesn't fall. It's just kind of sitting on a wire shelf. But all in all, the size is great. They're easy to clean. I just pretty much either used gloves and picked up the bedding out of it and put it in a trash bag, or even used a really big bag and dumped the whole thing out. It was very easy. I really don't have any complaints about them. They worked really well. It was easy to pick them up and carry them to a different room if I wanted to clean. It was easy for my daughter to get to her hamster, which that's one other thing I wanted to mention. My daughter's cage, I took a Critter Trail cage and I cut the wire door section off, like it would curve around on that cage. I cut the curved part off and made a hole and wired in that wire panel with the door on this long end of the cage, because then she could open the door and easily fill the food bowl, because for her cage being on her dresser, it was too far for her to reach all the way over the side into the bottom of the cage to fill the bowl. So adding extra features like pieces of Critter Trail cages really came in handy. But no complaints. I really love bin cages, and I hope everybody else does. And if you don't know how to make a bin cage, go ahead and check out my video, How to Make a Bin Cage. Thank you. Bye.